My name is Donna Kruger. I'm from an agency called Trade and Investment KwaZulu Natal. What that means is we're an agency set up to assist you in doing business in our region. So my presentation will just give a rationale on the opportunity of big data and potential applications, give you a bit of background on our region and potential opportunities for you, and then take you through some of the projects where as a business you can get involved. We've seen some great applications the past 2 days. We've also gone through the profiles of the companies. So we hope to make it as practical as possible and just to provide you with first contact. And we're hoping that this introduction will lead to further interaction, that you will mail us and we will also mail you as well. So opportunity overview in KZN. Why is there an opportunity for big data? I think the one thing COVID has shown us is the fact that there's huge digital inequality and exclusion in areas without internet access, and the ability that big data has to leapfrog opportunities within our region, I think provides a great opportunity for companies to enter into partnerships with some of the companies in our region. If you look at the South African landscape, we've got great companies. There's plenty of opportunity for mergers, acquisitions, collaboration. There is also opportunity for upgrading our existing infrastructure, also new opportunities as well. And the South African IT sector is generally robust with a lot of good small and medium enterprises that I believe are very keen to interact with you in our region as well. So there's an increased demand, as we've seen over the past 2 days, for applications in health and in disaster management, environmental management. If we look at smart cities, it's a big buzzword everywhere in the world at the moment, but I think there's huge opportunity for e-services, things like e-learning, e-governance, e-commerce at a very practical level at the moment. SME development strategies to digitize them, as I've mentioned, ongoing technological developments. And also in our province, we have a digital transformation strategy set up by government, also post-COVID, to see how can we accelerate the digitization of our businesses. We have got big companies that do big data, companies like Musata Technologies, Astel Systems, IBM, big gaming companies like Derivco. So we have a very strong cluster of existing companies that are looking at new markets as well and international partnerships. We also have a number of ICT incubation hubs that have been set up by provincial government. One is a company called Smart Exchange that helps SMEs that are looking at the export market and also looking to grow their footprint. Then we have an agency called Innovate Durban that assists in finding venture capital for companies for applications in the innovation space. And we also have technoparks that have been invested into by provincial government to set up infrastructure for data centers and also further incubation on that. If you look at KwaZulu-Natal, our location, we're on the eastern seaboard of South Africa. So we're the second largest economy in the country. We have a population of 11.4 million people. We have the land size of approximately the size of Portugal, and our GDP contribution is 16%. If you look at our statistical information, what is just important are our major trading markets. Major trading markets at the moment: USA, UK, Germany, Japan, China, Zambia, Namibia. We are hoping to also grow that. We have got a very strong relationship with the European Union, also with Italy. There have been a number of delegations throughout all the years that have visited our province as well. If you look at a snapshot of our provincial engagement, these are formal agreements that we have with certain provinces that are centered around economic development and creating economic development opportunities. But this is not an exhaustive list. We are hoping that we'll set up some more MOUs as well. KwaZulu-Natal aims to be the leader in terms of investment and trade in the country. We are home to South Africa's largest container port and also South Africa's deepest port. And I've seen a number of the companies also look at containerization technologies. So huge scope for increasing competitiveness of our ports at the moment. But what makes us significant as a province, we have 65% of the containerized trade that moves through our province. And then we have 2 special economic zones that I'll speak a bit more. There is huge opportunity, I think, in terms of applications within that. But as an agency, we exist in what we call our economic development cluster. Why this is important, there are a number of agencies called the Moses Kotane Institute that actually has data and supercomputing division as well. That's been set up looking to partner with international research institutes. We have got Itala and KZN Development Bank. We're the only province with development bank facilities to fund data services and also applications. We also have our 2 special economic zones. We have Tourism KwaZulu Natal that looks at AI applications for increasing the tourism sector. KwaZulu Natal gets about 7.5% of South Africa's international tourists. We get about 86% of the domestic tourism, which makes opportunities in that sector quite significant for us as well. We also have a very dynamic agency called Ezemvelo that is focused around biodiversity, and they run a number of capacity building programs, even where they have visits from international visitors as well, because their anti-poaching and gaming surveillance is actually world-class as well. So also opportunity within that. If you look at our provincial strategic pillars, we have our special economic zones. We have an aerotropolis that I'll speak around, maritime, tourism, environmental management, and value-added manufacturing. A big drive to also implement 4IR in our manufacturing sector as well. And obviously because of the port, a lot of business relates to the supply chain within the port, back of port developments as well. If you look at us as an agency, why is trade and investment important? Why are we here speaking to you? Because we want collaboration, we want partnerships. It increases our competitiveness, it creates jobs, and it leads to world-class technologies. We do act as a one-stop shop facility. So if you do have an inquiry, you want to get involved with a project, you can send us an email and we'll channel it accordingly within the province. Operational units, we have one focused around attracting new business, one focusing on assisting existing businesses, and also finding out what the tender opportunities are, making it available to our international networks. We have an export division that focuses around creating opportunities for small business in terms of trade and looking for new markets. And then we also have an office responsible for business development. In terms of tools and support that's available to you, it's really our job to provide you with data. It's our job to assist you with linkages as well, and then also to make you aware of what incentives there are as well. So we always talk about financial and non-financial incentives. Financial incentives, if you're looking to do business here, you can apply to us for funding. It's a matched fund for feasibility. We also help with export marketing. I think a big opportunity for applications is not just looking at South Africa, but at the regional opportunity as well. And then non-financial, looking at market entry, capacity building programs as well, and access to business opportunities. In terms of our collaborations, we talk to a number of people to find out where the applications are, what the opportunities are, as you can see. If you look at our current environment, at the moment we say this is kind of depicts the world at the moment. It is exciting, new opportunities, but it's a bit uncertain. I think in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, sustainability creates a huge business opportunity, especially as we've seen from the presentations yesterday, looking at forecasting COVID response, growth opportunities. And the main reason for that is, a lot of people around the world have been pushed into poverty, a big drive to digitize small businesses. South Africa's small business makes up about 35%, so I think huge opportunity for that as well. We've seen some of the mega trends within some of our clients, huge drive towards digitization, artificial intelligence. If you look at policy and governance, a lot of opportunity for trade interventionist strategies to help companies to trade efficiently, and also looking at changes in production processes, looking at what are the market-driven changes and how do we cope with that. So we've seen some production trajectories that are playing out. Lots of people looking at the regional opportunity, lots of people reshoring their business as well, replicating their business model from one area to the next, and also diversifying as well. So if we say KwaZulu-Natal, why do business with us? We've got good infrastructure, great infrastructure in terms of technology as well. We've got available pool of skills and research institutions as well. If you look at our sectors of focus, this is a very busy slide. We will make the presentation available, but very strong manufacturing sector in automotive and chemicals. Growth sectors for us, looking at pharmaceuticals and advanced manufacturing. Tourism, looking at AI and medical tourism, and also integration of medical systems. We have a number of new hospital developments coming up. which provides great opportunity for also integration of data, agriculture and agri-processing, looking at smart farming technologies, property and infrastructure, looking at green buildings, smart buildings, services, looking at IT development and applications, and then also in terms of the oceans economy, looking at your infrastructure development, but also looking at smart infrastructure development as part of that. If you look at trade, this just shows you some of our major sectors that I'm going to speak around. Automotive, Toyota is our largest OEM. We also have companies like Mahindra and Volvo. Sugar, looking at also optimizing these manufacturing facilities as well, pulp and paper, and then a very strong chemicals and clothing and textile sector. If you look at our exports, this just shows where our things are going. District industrial hubs, these are industrial hubs being developed by provincial government where resources is being put into. There are R&D facilities within these different districts, also covering our major sectors. Special economic zones, these are customs controlled areas. We have one next to the Richards Bay port. It focuses on heavy industry. It has got a world-class technopark as well, focusing on robotics and artificial intelligence as well. Some of the sectors that it's pushing is metals, agro-processing, port optimization, looking at containerization technologies, also looking at transport efficiencies within the different ports, and also looking at energy generation, and then ICT development, specifically software development for the export market. If you look at our special economic zone called Dube Trade Port, we have a wonderful international airport called King Shaka International Airport that was opened in 2010. It's at the heart of a big aerotropolis, 32,000 hectare facility, which is being planned as a smart city as well. So also opportunity for applications in that sense. Major sectors, agriculture, automotive, pharmaceuticals. I've mentioned the Durban Aerotropolis, but it is probably one of South Africa's most exciting projects in the next 10 to 15 years because it's the only greenfields aerotropolis in Africa, planned from scratch. If you look at our airlift strategy, a lot of opportunity for ground handling facilities, also wind tunnel testing, cargo handling as well, and expansion of that. As provincial government, we're part of a lobbying group that tries to get new airlines to fly out of there because it increases trade, it increases tourism. These are some of our major companies, a lot of international companies that are highlighted here. A lot of them have recently had upgrades in terms of 4IR technologies, in terms of optimization of their plants as well. If you look at our major opportunities within health, I've extracted this from our post-COVID plan. Major opportunity for medical diagnostics, specifically in fetal health, and then also for the implementation of world-class manufacturing, especially for biological manufacturing, things like insulin production. South Africa at the moment has 6 million diabetics. We're quite far from our value chains. So looking at localization of value chains as well, new hospital developments and the integrated document management systems around that as well. We have got world-class research facilities in terms of medical diagnostics. We have a big school of medicine as well, research facility at Moses Kotane. And then we have got companies like a company called Misata Technologies that focuses on e-health, specifically big data applications as well. In terms of innovation, big opportunity for broadband networks, monitoring and evaluation facilities, and then also R&D facilities and education. If we look at things like smart cities and infrastructure, specific opportunities that we could pick up, eThekwini is our largest metropolitan area, which is Durban. Out of our population of 11.4 million, 3.8 million people live in the metro. It's responsible for about 86% of our economic output. Some of the opportunities there looks at integrated fare management, also looks at fleet management within our rapid transport systems. We have our aerotropolis infrastructure development. We have our special economic zones that are smart planned areas as well. We have opportunity for microgrids, for interaction also with our Durban Energy Office, where there is also opportunity for rural electrification programs and microgrids as well. In terms of the marketplace, I've mentioned some of the support structures, some of the private companies as well. How we finance this is through our development banks that I mentioned that are available. If you look at aerospace and defense technologies, some of the civilian applications I've mentioned, cargo handling facilities, training of pilots. We have a drone academy that has also been set up looking at the surveillance through our Sharks board, through marine surveillance. Also, the Izimvelo, which is a biodiversity agency, looking at gaming and anti-poaching technologies as well. We also have wind tunnel testing facilities, I think, which is quite unique for medium speed wind tunnel testing, port and maritime traffic control and monitoring, and also vessel monitoring. So these are just some of the opportunities. It's not an exhaustive list. It's just to get you interested in our region and for us to give you more information with regards to it as well. And there is opportunity as well, I think, for your aerospace industry to partner as well with our special economic zone, with the Aerotropolis facility around some of these applications. If we look at some of our, what we call our catalytic projects as a province, we do have some provincial projects that we are driving. The one is the implementation of a large medical tourism facility as well, where we're trying to integrate all these e-health applications as well. They are looking at the manufacturing of vaccines, looking at it as a step-down facility for people coming for surgery as well, but then integrating also, it's like a live lab implementation as well. It just shows you the project status of it. Artistic impression, they've committed about 80% of the funding, so this project will be implemented in the next 2 years. Then we also have agricultural projects where we are implementing for world-class farming solutions and also integrating big data into this. One of our big projects is one called the MAC project. South Africa is the largest exporter of macadamias in the world. So looking at how do we bring small farmers into the mix, link them with commercial farmers, and then extract the data from that as well to ensure kind of seamless processes within that as well. We also have a company called Zynomed, which has got about 2,100 medicines in human and animal health, looking at oncological research. This is within our special economic zone, and it links to what we call Dube Connect, which I'll speak to about a bit more. We're also working on a large intermodal dry port facility about 50 kilometers inland from the Durban port. It's got truck stops and staging. It's got an intermodal terminal, tank farms, and also logistics and industrial park. So huge opportunity to also implement transport technologies for that as well. And then as a province, we are also working on an automotive supply park because of Toyota and automotive suppliers that can be set up there as well. And there is also room for big data companies playing in the automotive sector to set up there as well. Dube iConnect is at Dube Tradeport, our one special economic zone, looking specifically at telecommunications platform, cloud services, infrastructure services. So a great spot if you're wanting to set up in South Africa, a great spot or landing area, as I'd say. So why KwaZulu-Natal? Why do business with us? This was really a very quick highlight with a lot of information, but to say we are South Africa's most diverse economy. We have got a wealth of investment and collaboration opportunities. If you are a service provider, we are one of the continent's most sought after emerging markets, and we are also a gateway to South Africa, Africa, and the world, especially with a free trade area. I think there's a huge opportunity for expansion into Africa and also applications and projects. So it's really our job to help highlight what the projects are and to get you doing business in the country as well. So thank you very much. These are our contact details, and we hope you'll be in touch with us. If you do have any questions, please mail us.